Okay, we're here with part two of our lubricating, where we're lubricating our Athearn Blue Box PA-1. I tried to shoot this video like the first part where I actually took the truck apart and uh, lubricate it, but I just had too many things kind of go wrong and interruptions and whatnot. So I went ahead and lubricated this rear truck and put it back together. However, it's not back on the locomotive yet, but I just wanted to show you. Basically just repeat the steps of the part one video, except the orientation of how this truck goes back together. You want this part here to face the rear, because here's the rear coupler box right here. So when you put the clip back on, you want the coupler box to be in the same area as the way that this is oriented. So, because if you turn around, you're never going to be able to get it back on, because this part here is going to hit the drive shaft or the flywheel, and you'll never be able to get the truck back on. So just make sure that you get the clip on right. So anyway, and I wanted to make sure I saved enough time where I could show you the difference between this locomotive and this SD9, which is similar to how most Athearn Blue Box engines are assembled. So anyway, let's go ahead and stick this truck back on. And also I want to show you what the, where's my little dental tool at? I'll show you what this is going to be for here in just in a second. This is part of a dental kit that I bought, and I'll kind of show you how we'll go about using that. So anyway, without further ado, let's just go ahead and stick this truck back on here. And also remember, there's a little hole right there, and there's a little stub there on the frame, and you got to make sure that hole is lined up with that stub, because that'll go, I don't know if you can see it or not, but you can see it kind of go in that little hole right there, and that's all lined up and everything. So now we'll get our other little piece right here and put on our worm gear housing, and then you just basically make sure everything's all nice and lined up, and you basically just snap it in place just like that. And there's our locomotive chassis back together again. So anyway, I wanted to show you what this little tool is for right here. See these little see this little gap right here in the in this little brass part right here. I watched SMT Mainline. He works on these Athearn locomotives quite a bit on his channel, and when I was watching him, I noticed he had one of these little picks that he used to kind of get in here and in this little space right here. And according to him, a lot of carbon buildup gets built up right in here. So he uses it's not exactly like this, but he uses something similar to kind of get in there and scrape that out and clean it out, because he said it does cause problems down the road if you don't clean them every once in a while. So we're just going to run in there and see if it's got anything in there. Let's look, and we'll just run it back and forth like that and see what comes out of it here. And that's pretty clean. We'll turn the flywheel a little bit, and we'll again go in there and look. And also, you could probably use this little sharp point right here. It would get in there probably a little bit better, but Why don't I turn that back around? And we'll get in there and see. And like I said, this is just a dental kit that I picked up at the local Walmart. And they're actually pretty good for these kind of things. So I would not recommend that you, if you buy one of these, make sure you buy one specifically to use on model trains. Don't try to clean your teeth with the same set. If you're going to do that, just buy 2 sets and use one of them for actual dental work and one for your trains. So that should really go without saying, but I figured I'd throw it out there just for safety's sake. So we'll just go in here and clean it. And honestly, this is a fairly clean engine. I mean, I'm not seeing hardly anything coming out right there. In fact, I don't see anything right there. So that's a really good sign right there. So, okay, we're going to call that engine good and lubricated right there. And while I'm at it, I'm going to show you the differences between this engine. Let's go ahead and put this electrical clip back on. It probably needs to be cleaned or even replaced, but I may do that at a later date. All it does is just snap down in there just like that. And then of course it the electricity comes up through this, and then it rubs on this little clip here and basically powers the motor. So that's how that kind of works. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of show you the difference between this and what most Athearn Blue Box engines look like. So this is my Burlington Northern SD9. It too is an Athearn Blue Box, and its driveline is pretty much what you would expect to find in about I'd say probably 90% of the Athearn Blue Box locomotives. You can see there are some differences. This truck clip is different. There's also differences in the motor too. And also the way the trucks themselves go together is different. You can see right there, there's some differences right in there. And while we're at it, I see some stuff there that needs to be scraped out of there because I'm not liking what I'm seeing right there. So, and you want to try to keep these things as clean as humanly possible. So, oh crud. So we'll just go ahead and I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go ahead and clean this up just a little bit off camera. Well, I'll just bring it back down here because it needs to be down here where I'll have some light and you guys can see it a little bit. So we'll just go ahead and clean the bottom of this engine up just a little bit, kind of get rid of some of that junk that's laying around in here. So, but anyway, I just kind of wanted to show you. And also, one way you can also tell that these are Athearn Blue Boxes, if you ever look on eBay for them, these little holes right here go all the way through the frame, and the motor mounts stick down in there. And there's actually the motor mount right there. One motor mount right there, and one motor mount right there. So, so if you look on eBay, generally if it's like this, generally it's an Athearn Blue Box. They won't always be like that, but for the most part, that's what you would be looking for in most Blue Box engines. And like I said, there's exceptions to the rule, but that's for another time, another video. And probably a different channel too that's way more knowledgeable on Athearn engines than I am. So, because these are pretty much the only versions I know. So, anyway, I just wanted to show you that. Like I said, there's just some minor differences in here. I'll show you the truck clip here.
Was that telephone truck went up the road?
Yep.
I ain't got no dogs on.
Anyway, let's pull the truck clip off right there and let you see that. And there's a difference in the truck clip right there. It's one piece versus the two piece in the PA there. And you can kind of see the worn gear, some of the little differences in it as well. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that, and we'll clip that back on just like that. So anyway, so let's go ahead and put the finishing touches on this PA, and we will call it good here, and we'll see what kind of job we've done on it here. So let's go ahead and get started. Our couplers that we're going to put on, I am going to change them to knuckle couplers. They had the X2F couplers on them. And we're going to put KD 158s on there. So anyway, so let's go ahead, and we're not going to put the front coupler on just yet because we're going to have to put the shell on first. So let's go ahead, and I'm just going to lay it upside down like that, and we'll go ahead and clip it on, hopefully like that. Okay, that coupler's on, so we'll flip it back over now. And we are now ready to put the shell back on this engine. So once again, I'm going to wipe my fingers off. I've still got a little bit of that oil residue on me, which isn't good for my all-terrains, or at least a paint finish on them. So we'll come over here and get our PA body and stick back on here. And then we'll put the front coupler on. So anyway, by the way, you want to make sure that's all lined up right there. And also, just to show you here, just kind of spread the body out like that, and you'll see a little hole right there. That's where the tabs go right there. And just like that, we have our body back on. We are now ready to put the knuckle couplers back on, I hope. So I'm going to move this engine over here to where there's not any oil. Well, you know what? Let's let me get another shop towel and put on here, because I don't like that oil residue being on there. Because I'm going to have to lay this engine kind of upside down. We'll clean up some of our mess right here. Lay our shop towel down like that. Oh, and of course you want to snap in there like that. So there's that. So anyway, what you'll want to do is you'll just slide it through the pilot opening like that. Make sure everything lines up. And put your coupler pocket on. Like I said, make sure everything lines up. It can be a little bit of a pain to get on here. So So anyway, we'll let me see if I can get this on off camera here. I'll have to sit down to do this. So anyway, did I get it on? I believe that's on. So anyway, there's that. So we got the new knuckle couplers on there. Looks really, really nice. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and clean this off, and we're going to try this locomotive out and see if it runs here. See what kind of job we've done here. So we'll just, and while I'm at it, I'm just going to go ahead and put the body back on this SD9. Where that's done. And I'm just kind of going to halfway clean up my mess here. I'm not going to get real carried away until after I figure out if everything works or not. That way I can make sure that we are in good shape here. Yeah, I want to make sure I don't do anything that's out of the ordinary. So while we're at it, let's just go ahead and see what we got here. We're going to go ahead and put the engine on there. Okay. Basically, I just want to just make sure that the thing actually runs back and forth and whatnot, and make sure everything's in good shape. So anyway, we'll go ahead and turn it on here. And look at that. That's running pretty darn smooth, if I do say so myself. We'll go ahead and I believe she's running pretty good there, folks. So let's back it up and see how it does. And you know, for an old Athearn Blue Box, that's pretty good right there. So I'll tell you what, looks like we've done pretty good here lubricating this engine. It's probably not my best video I've ever done, but we hope you enjoyed this two-part series. And Heath, now you know how to take apart one of these Athearn Blue Box engines. As you can see, they're pretty simple to work on, and like I've told people, if a klutz like me can work on them, anybody can. So like I said, we hope you enjoyed this little two-part video, and be sure to stay tuned. We got a mail call episode coming up. I'll have to wait till I upload these videos to do it, but be sure to watch for that. I think you'll be pretty interested. I finally got one of my bucket list cars, so that'll be something to look forward to. So anyway, take care all, and we'll see you down the line.